weeknights on CBS.
From our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 live at 5.
We are just a few days out from Christmas now. All eyes on the weather as we get ready to travel or maybe welcome guests into our homes. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale is here with us. And Riley, we're hearing there might be rain on Christmas Day. Say it ain't so.
I know. Unfortunately, not the best forecast right now for our Christmas Day, but beautiful weather for the weekend. So if you have any plans to be outside Saturday or Sunday, or even this evening, not looking too bad for us. So that is the good news. By Christmas Day, make sure you do have some indoor plans. We are expecting a good bit of rain to pass through, and that could even extend into next Tuesday. Taking a look at across the area this afternoon, we're looking at Augusta, Aiken, up at the dam, downtown Edgefield. They're looking good as well. We got very comfortable temps. We got some cloudy skies. Temps right now in the 50s to near 60 for most spots. So, and take a look at the lake. It is just not a lick of wind out there. It looks like glass. So pretty calm conditions the rest of this evening into tonight. Here's a look at other temperatures across the region. 60s in middle Alabama, so not too bad there. A little bit cooler for us here around the CS race since we have seen a good bit of clouds so far this afternoon. These are going to continue streaming in from the west, but we should see these break up by tomorrow morning. We're actually anticipating a good bit of sunshine through most of our Saturday afternoon. This is going to be our rainmaker. This is what's traveling across the country and should show up by Christmas Day for us, bringing a very wet day across the southwest out there this afternoon. We'll have much more on those rain chances for your Christmas Day in just a bit, but let's get a quick update on your First Alert traffic.
And now, First Alert traffic.
All right, folks, live look just outside of our building. Have it pointed towards Costco right now because it has been extremely busy around this corridor so far this afternoon. So any plans to maybe head to Topgolf, Dave & Buster's, Costco, Olive Garden, movie theater, anything you got going on over here, it is busy. But just make sure you're staying safe and be careful around that curve right there. Hey, going out to Grovetown next, exit 190. Not too bad whatsoever. Not much traffic out there at the moment on Lewiston Road. Have much more on the weekend and Christmas Day forecast in just a bit.
All right, thanks for that, Riley. We have several amazing shelters across Augusta for people experiencing homelessness to stay the night and get some support. But for some, they're unable to go to these shelters for one reason or another. That's why one Augusta woman is putting go bags up and down Augusta for people who need it. Our Taylor Martin is live at 5 in our newsroom. And Taylor, what is in these go bags and how are they helping people?
Well, inside the go bags, people in need will find an emergency blanket, cough drops, gloves, and a face mask. It's just something to help them get through the cold nights. These are just a few of the people who've received these go bags. The woman behind it all is Marcia Sanders, founder of After the Storm Incorporated. She says her mission is to just help people get the basic necessities while also connecting them to resources to get them back on their feet. And after spending time in prison and facing homelessness on her own, she said God laid it on her heart to do just that.
When I was in prison, I found God there, and I learned to walk by faith and not by sight. After I got out of prison, I was homeless for a short while, and then I had people that really cared for me, and they took me in, so I never had to walk the streets.
All new on News 12 at 6 o'clock. We're hearing more of Marcia's story and hearing from a friend of hers who was also homeless and knows just how important the go bags are.
Thank you, Taylor. That's especially needed this time of year, no doubt. An 18-year-old from New Ellington in jail tonight after a series of alleged crimes. This stems from at least 3 instances dating back to October. Wrdw is charged with 1 count of assault and battery of a high aggravated nature, 2 counts of pointing and presenting a firearm at a person, and 1 count of possession of a weapon during a violent crime. His bond was set at $75,000. We're learning more about a deadly crash tonight involving a log truck in Richmond County. The coroner says the victim in that accident is 65-year-old Rebecca Williams. Deputies responded to the scene at Gordon Highway at Tubman Home Road around 6:40 Wednesday evening. There, they found the driver after her car crashed behind an 18-wheeler log truck stopped at the traffic light. The FBI wants you to keep an eye out for this missing 14-year-old girl. Take a look. Carrie Cruz left her home sometime in the night with a 20-year-old man. Now, she is from the Indianapolis area, but they are believed to be traveling through Georgia. Carrie Cruz left a note saying that she and this man, Esteban Conte, are planning to leave for Guatemala. Conte is known to be driving a 2010 Honda Civic with license plate 783CNO. If you see or if you know anything about either one of these two, please call the FBI immediately. A new program is giving kids and teenagers a better way to handle grief, and it won't cost you anything. The holidays can bring on heavy emotions, not just for adults who've lost a loved one, but for children too. The program is called Memory Makers. It's held at Affinis Hospice on Walton Way, and it's for ages 4 to 17. The volunteer coordinator, Jessica Hand, says she started Memory Makers because her father died when she was just 15. She says her goal is to help create a safe space so young people can give their pain a purpose.
And so this space kind of gives them the opportunity to scream. We screamed. We have torn paper up and thrown it because it got our anger out. We laugh. We cry. It gives them a space to do all of that without having to worry about how it may impact somebody else's emotions.
Now, if you have a child who you think could benefit from Memory Makers, or maybe you'd like to volunteer, we have that information on your screen. Now, it is important to note, just like counseling services or therapy, this is confidential, so it is a safe space. New preliminary data from the CDC shows the number of suicides in South Carolina is going up. It follows national post-pandemic trends that also indicate rising suicide rates. Our State House reporter Mary Green explains what will be done starting in the new year to try to curb those numbers in South Carolina and save lives.
South Carolina currently has 2 centers that take calls to the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, one in Greenville and one in Charleston, and they both field calls coming in from all across the state. Starting in early January, the Low Country Center will gain a new capability that's already in place in the upstate. There, a voluntary rapid deploy geo-tracking resource will come online. This allows people who are in crisis and call the 988 Lifeline to share their location on their phone if they want, with the person helping them on the other side of the call, so they can find them in that moment and bring them additional help. Also in January, South Carolina will be the first state in the country to launch an online self-care platform called Hopeful Minds. It'll be free to all South Carolinians and offer vetted information through videos, blogs, and screeners about how to care for yourself and your mental health. And next year, the state's mobile crisis teams will have additional lethal means safety tools available to them when they're responding in the community, including gun locks and locking pill bottles.
There's a lot of exciting things happening that are coming, but it's more than just these programs, as we've all mentioned. It really is about the human-to-human connection. So be stubborn with your hope and share it freely.
And a number of bills have also been filed here at the State House to boost South Carolina's suicide prevention efforts, including some focused specifically on youth prevention. Reporting from the State House, I'm Mary Green.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a mental health crisis, help is available 24/7. You can call or text the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988, or you can chat online at 988lifeline.org. The daughter of a woman killed by a distracted driver, choosing to show her killer compassion, not hate, will share her inspiring story with you. Coming up, Riley.
Well, we are looking at a little bit warmer temperatures this weekend, but unfortunately Christmas Day, that's our next chance for rain. We'll have a look at it just after the break.
Time and McKinley. From our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
How about this sunset? Looking at our Thurman Dam cam, a beautiful view over Clarks Hill. We have seen mostly cloudy skies today. The clouds are starting to break up just in time for sunset and really lighten up that western sky. Beautiful right now. Temperatures, despite the clouds, have been able to warm up into the mid and upper 50s, 56 right now here in Augusta. But temperatures will get cool again this evening into tonight, but likely going to stay above freezing. So low temps most likely only dropping to the upper 30s by early tomorrow morning. 40s in store for most of this evening if you're stepping out, so just grab the jacket, but not overly cold, but definitely chilly nonetheless. Definitely bundle up. The good news is if you have a tea time tomorrow morning early on, not expecting much of a frost delay. We'll still see upper 30s, but that should just be warm enough to prevent any frost out on the fairways. Once we get into the afternoon, it should be beautiful out there. Getting back some sunshine late into the day Saturday, and high temps will be warmer, most likely into the mid 60s. So outdoor plans look great this weekend. Sunday could actually be a little bit warmer for us into the afternoon. We are anticipating a few more clouds to show up throughout the day Sunday, but staying nice and dry. So looking good to go for anything you have planned outside. Now here's a look at the wet weather in store early next week for your Christmas Day Monday and on Tuesday. We are expecting a system to kind of bring us a couple rounds of rainfall. Most of that should be able to clear out by Wednesday next week, but still can't rule out maybe a stray shower throughout early Wednesday morning. Here's our day planner throughout the day Christmas. So rain chances, they look low in the morning, but not zero. So can't rule out some early morning showers, but definitely looking better to see more widespread rainfall across the area once we get after lunchtime into our Monday night. And then once again, most of our Tuesday does look pretty wet as well. Take a look at some Christmas records. So our hottest Christmas on record was actually 81 set just about 8 years ago in 2015. Coldest, some of y'all may remember this, 6 degrees in 1983. That was a very cold Christmas for us. The wettest one just under 3 inches in 1943. And then there have been a couple Christmases we've been actually have seen a trace of snow, but no snow in our forecast for Christmas Day this year. Here's a look at our rainmaker moving across the country. This is what's going to show up by Christmas Day for us. So not anticipating that to show up really until we get to most likely later into the day on Monday. Here's a look at our Saturday, just clearing skies towards tomorrow morning. Sunny skies for your Saturday afternoon with comfortable temps in the 60s. We'll start to notice more clouds building in throughout the day on Sunday, and then this will give way to some rainfall once we get later into our Monday by midday, especially into the afternoon, and that will continue most likely into our Tuesday. Quick look at that 7-day forecast. Once again, rain Monday, Tuesday, but starting to dry out some by the middle of next week.
All right, thank you, Riley. A mother's last words are inspiring forgiveness and change after unimaginable heartbreak. Andy Parati shows us how there is space in all of us for change.
For Stacy Green, the gospel recharges her soul.
From as early as I can remember, we grew up in church.
The person who took her each Sunday, Rosie Minor, an ordained minister, a youth pastor, and a successful businesswoman once featured in Ebony magazine. But for Stacy, she was just mom.
Do a twirl.
Oh my God. I can't twirl. Oh, my mother was such a beautiful woman. She loved.
All right, thank you, Riley. A mother's last words are inspiring forgiveness and change after unimaginable heartbreak. Andy Parati shows us how there is space in all of us for change.
For Stacy Green, the gospel recharges her soul.
From as early as I can remember, we grew up in church.
The person who took her each Sunday, Rosie Minor, an ordained minister, a youth pastor, and a successful businesswoman once featured in Ebony magazine. But for Stacy, she was just mom.
Do a twirl.
Oh my God. I can't twirl. Oh, my mother was such a beautiful woman. She loved everything and everybody.
On November 20th, 2020,
The northwest side of the intersection.
Rosie died in a car crash in DeKalb County, Georgia.
Stay with me, Mama. Okay? Stay on their way. Stay with us.
Hit by a driver allegedly on their phone, going 73 miles per hour, nearly twice the speed limit.
Feel my hand. You're not alone. Okay?
Houston Officer Hunt, DeKalb County Police Department.
The person who hit Rosie, Nakia Cherry, charged with vehicular homicide.
I was consumed with anger. I wanted her to go to jail. I wanted them to pick her up. I was just not in a good place.
Shattered with grief, Stacy fell into depression, lost her job,
Are they okay?
and she was determined to see Nakia pay for killing her mother.
How do you forgive the person that killed your mom? Your best friend. How do you do it?
3 years later, she would face her mother's alleged killer. And this DeKalb County courtroom, there to settle a civil lawsuit against Nakia's car insurance company. At the end of the trial, attorneys played a recording of Rosie's voice, part of a prayer line she took part in every day, recorded just hours before she died.
John in 1:16 said, "From the fullness of his grace, we have all received one blessing after another. So we have every reason in the world to be thankful every day."
At that moment, Stacy knew what needed to be done. In the hallway outside the courtroom, she approached Nakia.
So I said, I need you to know, I forgive you. I need you to know, I forgive you.
A moment that took Nakia by surprise.
She came up to me and she hugged me and she said she was going to forgive me. For her to do that, it changed me in so many ways.
How bad did you need to
I
hear that?
really need to hear that. I still cannot forgive myself for what happened. And for her to do that, that was a really big change for me.
Why was it important for you to forgive her?
My mom was already gone. My mom's already dead. And I was walking around dead. So in order to give myself back life, I had to forgive her. It doesn't make sense to have two dead people.
Stacy's compassion could have ended right there, left the courtroom and never spoke to Nakia again. Instead, she says she did something her mother would have done. After the accident, life got tough for Nakia and her 4 children. She lost her home, job, and car. But when Stacy heard about it, she took action, helping her with money, transportation, and even temporary housing. And Nakia has joined their church, the same sanctuary where Rosie worshiped.
I talk to her a lot every day. She helps me with my kids when I needed food. Stacy was there. She calls, she checks on me every day. I don't really have that for many people. She's like a big sister, like a godmom.
My mom would be doing the same exact thing had she been alive today.
She'd forgive.
She would forgive. She would help her. My mother wouldn't want her to be down on her luck.
If a lot of people forgave, maybe this world would be a little different.
A lot more Stacys.
A lot more Stacys. Yeah, man, the world would be so totally different. Because she helped me. I love Miss Stacy.
Some say forgiveness is the purest form of love. And I think she just proved that. We're back in bed.
First of all,
Unwrapping Christmas presents can create a lot of trash, but before you throw everything into the recycling bin, know that not all Christmas trash is created equal. Here's what you need to know.
Who doesn't love receiving a gift with bows, glitter, tinsel, all that good stuff? But what exactly should you do with all those goodies once you're done diving into the season of giving?
Wrapping paper is paper, but is it really that simple to recycle? The answer isn't so clear, with some papers being acceptable and others not so much. Why?
We try to avoid glitter. because that can contaminate a load, and ribbons will clog up the machines. But if it's plain, not glossy, doesn't have any foil, just like paper, it can go in the recycling bin.
It is the laminate cover or the wax coating that makes wrapping paper unable to be recycled. Plastic tape is also not recyclable. Now, to find out if your wrapping paper is recyclable, you can perform what is called the scrunch test, in which you take your wrapping paper and you scrunch it up into a ball like this, and if it holds its form, it is recyclable. And if it doesn't, it is not recyclable. And before heading straight to recycling, try to reuse. That could include gift bags, ribbons, boxes, and even old holiday decor.
Where can you take this before it goes to the landfill, and even before it goes to the recycling? Can you donate it to, a thrift shop or a charity?
So there you have it. Reusing and recycling are both the name of the game this holiday season. And I hear those who consider green alternatives are a little less likely to receive coal this season. I know a guy.
All right, good tips there. Maybe repurpose some newspaper if you need some wrapping paper out there. For the weekend, we are looking at nice weather, but dropping barometric pressure Monday with that next chance for rain moving in. So unfortunately, aches and pains may go up early next week. Now look at that 7-day forecast just after break.
There's always a new for $3.49. Mix and match a McDouble, McChicken, and small fries. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We got back just in time to see the last bit of sunset from our Beach Island camera. You can see that last little slither dipping below the western horizon, really lighting up this high-level cloud cover moving through this afternoon. So a really pretty sky right now across the area. Temperatures are still in the 50s for most spots, 56 degrees right now at Bushfield. Temperatures will gradually drop into the 40s over the next couple of hours and then eventually get to the upper 30s by daybreak tomorrow. We're going to see these clouds continue to move through this evening, but they will start to break up as we get towards early Saturday. Saturday's going to be a beautiful day. We're actually expecting a lot of sunshine in the afternoon, and high temperatures should be able to hit the mid and possibly upper 60s across many spots. So nice weather to get outside for tomorrow. And even Sunday does stay dry, but it's really into Monday and Tuesday next week. Those rain chances do ramp up. So unfortunately, not the driest day for Christmas Day plans, but great weekend to get outside. Stick with us. We're going to have much more on Live at 5 just after a short break.